Hey everyone, TimaeuSS here, and welcome to another Nikke video. So happy 2024, that's right. And there are a bunch of codes that just dropped for you to redeem. I'll leave all of them down in the description as well as the comment. I think you get a ton of gems. But we're gonna start this year off with the answer to one of the most frequently asked questions last night over on the stream. Okay, should I be polling for Scarlet or Modernia? That's right, we do have the Modernia rerun banner, and a lot of you guys, I think mostly early to mid-game players are asking, which one is better? Which one is better? Well, first of all, okay, I'm gonna give you all the information you'll need to make an educated decision, and I'll also tell you what my thoughts are, okay? But one thing, we were obviously concerned about the Modernia not being on the Scarlet banner in patch now. However, that is not true, because not only the people on Reddit and also in the Discord already posted images of pulling Modernia in the Scarlet pickup banner, you can also see in the probability rate that Modernia is indeed included in the Scarlet Black Shadow banner. Whereas if you go look at Modernia's rerun banner, there's no Scarlet Black Shadow, right? Because she's not added into the quote-unquote general pool just yet. So I think right off the bat from that alone, if you want both characters, you can try on the Scarlet Black Shadow banner, and then if you are very lucky, okay, you can luck sack both, right? That's a very big if. But let's take a look at the breakdown of the current units and what we know so far, and then you can make your decision based on that. First of all, we've got two tier lists, one from Pridewin and one from NIKKE.GG. Those two are the premier tier list. The Modernia is sitting at the pretty much very top for both of the tier lists. Right, if we look at the bossing, Modernia is SSS tier, just because of how her kit works, and the Scarlet Black Shadow is gonna be at the top as well. I would say at this current testing moment, from what we have seen so far, Scarlet is the best, pretty much tied with Red Hood in terms of damage output with regards to against a non-core bosses, right? If the bosses of course and using schoolgirls, Red Hood is going to come on top. But if you're using Scarlet against enemies without cores or enemies with multiple parts, Scarlet Black Shadow is no doubt the best unit for that. And don't just take it from me. You can see over on our Discord we have a wide range of people discussing this as well. And if you take a look at the Scarlet Altar discussion, you can see the screenshots, and everyone's Scarlet Black Shadow is either keeping up or outperforming Red Hood. You can see right here, my Red Hood is 10-10 fully OL gear, and Scarlet is only 2 OL gear with 10-5-9, and if we scroll down, it's the same here, right? Against manual Alice, okay, gaming chair manual Alice, core 7 10-4-10, Scarlet LB1 7-7-7 does more damage. So it's already determined and established that Scarlet Black Shadow is going to be at the top in terms of DPS. So how does Modernia fare right now? If you look at the team compositions at the moment, Modernia is of course really good for bossing, but more importantly a staple on the campaign teams as well. If we throw Modernia in there for campaign right now, the team that most people were running is Manual Alice plus Modernia, and then supported by the bunnies, right? This is one of the most common teams you'll see that can basically ignore about 10 to 15% of the power gap if you Manual Alice to quick charge, and then this is a really strong campaign team, and that's where Modernia excels, because in campaign you actually want to burst and you do AoE, you mold down the mobs really fast, and the synergies with the bunnies, it's there. So Modernia is super fantastic there. However, if you bring this exact team to the bosses, okay, Scarlet will pretty much do more damage with the exact same team count, because Alice actually is the best in-slot DPS burst 3 for Scarlet due to how much boost you provide. So this team is absolutely insane, and against bosses it will do more than this composition. Maybe some use cases where the boss has the core up 100% of the time, then Modernia could inch close, but with the damage numbers we've seen, Black Shadow Scarlet is absolutely insane. And it's just further amplified by Alice in this regard, which is okay, because then that frees Modernia to be used on a separate team, and we can potentially look at the dual composition in double machine guns against core bosses, right? That's another viable team. Or if you don't have Lamella, you can bring Red Hood into Red Hood into Modernia, and then go Schoolgirls into core damage. So the possibility is there, but I'm gonna assume that most of you guys that are asking with regards to whether or not you should be pulling for Modernia are in the early to mid game, because if you are a late game player, you played since the beginning, probably got her from the Pilgrim modes, or you've luck sacked her off banner already. So for the earlier game players that are asking, I honestly think, okay, it really depends on whether or not you can complete this recruitment, and if you have one of the schoolgirls or one of the bunnies. If you do, then your team composition will be really fantastic going to bossing, going into campaign. Then I would pick, because you have, you know, your team composition pretty much set, I would pick Scarlet personally. Okay, Scarlet is right now the hottest thing. And Modernia currently allows you to push campaign faster than Scarlet, 100%. But when you're fighting against bosses, in my opinion, Scarlet for union raids and for solo raids is just going to do more. However, you could argue that Modernia does better against special interceptions overall, because you do have the ability to burst, and for mid game players, the AoE pretty much a map auto snipe is really strong for enemies. Okay, so you definitely want to consider that. But however, if you want to look at the current Scarlet options, they're there as well. But for Modernia, yes, just for early to mid game players, it's slightly edges on top in terms of map clearings and special interceptions, but Scarlet does do more damage in most situations. So it's very difficult. But again, my personal preference would just be go for Scarlet. Definitely go for Scarlet. She is the top tier DPS. It's like if Modernia and Banner was running alongside Red Hood, most of you probably would pull for Red Hood, right, if Modernia and Banner was rerun. So go for that. In the same case, you would go for Scarlet over Modernia. But Modernia is not bad per se. She's very strong, but of course she is a year old, right? The banner and the unit herself is a year old, and it still goes to show that she's still at the very top tier. But Scarlet, man, look at that JPS. But now, one of the other things that may influence choice is if you were there for the thank you event and you got the Modernia skin, this might influence your choice, right? This might influence yours. But if not, then we'll just take it to the union rate as well. You can just take a quick look at the shooting range damage output, and we don't let Modernia burst, okay? Because due to the fact that if you let Modernia burst, her AoE is just going to do insane amounts of damage. And also in solo target settings, you actually don't want Modernia to burst against bosses. So we'll put the other unit as the burst 3, the second one, and we will go into water. And also one more thing is you better have overload gears from Modernia, because she relies a lot on the ammo, max ammo, which can offer her infinite ammo. If you have 2 max lines or 3 decently rolled lines for max ammo capacity on the overload gear, so that's another thing. And you do need a hit rate, otherwise you have to run the hit rate cube to gain a built-in bonus on this attack buff, which is really important, right? So that's another thing that early game or mid game players may not be able to achieve. But let's just take this, they're both on Bastion cube, and yeah, see the damage output, and we can make a decision that, oh, let's not go with water, because that will screw the elemental advantage. So we'll move this, and we'll go with the same litter bunnies, and head into Scarlet and Modernia to do a damage comparison. Do note, my Modernia is core 7, okay? My Modernia is core 7, my Scarlet is only MLB 3, so the damage comparison, you have to take that into account. The attack difference is 104 versus 116, okay? So there's that as well. Right, so let's take the units into the fights, and we'll see how they fare. Actually, I'm gonna make sure that they're upgraded. Yes, they are, and I'll just take up the cube on this. There we go, there we go, okay, and yeah, let's just see how they do. So overall, I personally think that shift of rerunning Modernia's banner alongside Scarlet is basically to drain us of our funds. You do have your, you know, free 20 pulls plus 2,000 something gems, so we do have that going. But you can see that in the shooting range, even though we're not letting Modernia burst, it's actually good because she's going to hit a lot of the cores, right? This is a really good showcase of how much damage Modernia will be able to do just because she is hitting cores pretty much the entire time in the shooting range. You can see the damage, even if Modernia is hitting cores, is, yeah. Scarlet is just crazy. So we'll wait for this second burst from the second bunnies because we took a look at the damage comparison right after Scarlet's full burst. So let's do that. So we're hitting cores all the time, dealing bonus damage, and the machine guns are super good against cores. So before the Scarlet burst again, you can see that, you know what, even though Scarlet is 6,000 power behind, again, not core 7, she is edging out on top of my pretty fully invested Modernia, right? And if she bursts, she's just gonna edge out ahead. So in terms of the raw damage DPS, even against core units, you can see here that Scarlet is for sure just stronger, and the new toy is gonna be new stronger. But if we let Modernia burst here, I'll turn off auto, and if we let Modernia burst here in this AoE setting, when there are multiple enemies, so example, they're not tied together, but here, if they're tied together, you can see the damage will go really crazy, and this is the biggest thing for a campaign and other PvE modes. So if you're having issues with PvE, I mean, Scarlet does have some AoE potential in the distributed damage, but if you're looking for just map and campaign, then Modernia will be your choice. And of course, having this AoE capability is also great in other special interception, and we're trying to push for that max clear. But just a quick look at where the damage is heading. Of course, my max MLB Scarlet does edge out slightly on top of Modernia, who's fully invested. But yeah, let me know your thoughts, and if you would be maxing or max limit breaking Modernia or Scarlet. Regardless, I wish you the best of luck. Of course, we'll have streams coming up, so you can, of course, join me as I pull more copies of Scarlet or do viewer posts for other people, and hopefully you luck suck Scarlet and Modernia on top of that. So until next time, it's TimaeuSS here, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye now.